back, everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Is having a wonderful evening. Thank you for tuning in to yet another great live stream that we are fixing to have. So let me bring my man Tony Taylor to the stream. What's going on, Tony?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, brother, man? Hey, I
Hey,
like the background. I like the background, man.
you like that?
Oh
Man, this is
yeah.
the only way that I can get on LinkedIn Live is through your account, man.
Oh man, I didn't mean to laugh like that. I'm sorry. And, those of you that don't know the struggle to get LinkedIn Live, it definitely is a struggle. I put what 3 applications in and ended up luckily being blessed. So. I know Tony's been, trying to get LinkedIn Live. I know Tamara Paris has been trying to get LinkedIn Live. So it'll come. Hopefully, after this LinkedIn Live, you'll be able to get it. So,
Man, hopefully, I don't know what else I got to do, man. Seven emails, 8 requests. I don't know. Up my followers a little bit. Nothing's working. I don't
oh,
get it.
oh
But
man,
anyway, I guess I'm not here to complain, right?
no, you're good. You're good. Again, it's an open forum. We can this, that's what we use this medium for is to, you know, discuss good topics. So those of you that are with us tuning in again, you know that it's going to be motivational leadership power hour with Tony Taylor. Tony is real big on LinkedIn. He's real big on YouTube. I first seen him with this "Be Safe, Okay" video. So I'll stop talking. I'll let Tony introduce himself. Let everybody know what Tony's about. If you don't already know, go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna let you just keep talking about me.
Like that, huh? Yeah, word of hey,
Yeah,
hey, word of mouth goes a long way. I tell you.
I love that. Yeah, man. Instead of me just complaining, I guess I'll go ahead and introduce myself. Just like Pedro said, I'm Tony Taylor. I am by trade a safety professional, but as of probably the last 2 years, I've been kind of traveling a little bit and doing some motivational speaking. As of the last couple months, I've been doing motivational speaking from my office. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. I'm married, got a wife, got a bunch of kids, and yeah, man, I'm excited to be on here today to talk about my favorite word, well, one of my favorite words, and that's leadership. Leadership, 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 man. I'm pumped.
Nice, nice, and we want to thank you. Before we really dive into and get into it, for taking the time out and actually being on the show. Again, meeting you and Demetra, wrapped a couple of months back on a podcast. So, figured we do it live stream, get the real version of Tony.
I
Um,
love it. I love it. You always gonna get the real, baby. You hey,
there you go.
you you always gonna get the real, especially today, man.
There we go. So, and again, it's we got some comments already coming in. I love it. Oh, yep. Tony is a former Marine too. Hoorah, brother.
Hoorah, brother.
Thanks,
What's up, Nate?
thanks, Nate Redbeard. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. So
Hey,
let's dive
Pedro.
into it. Yes, sir.
Hey, man. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been trolling all your guests for the last couple of weeks, man. You know.
It's okay. That's what we do. I mean, that's networking and communicating all in one. Um, so diving into it, what is motivation? What is leadership? Break the two down. What does it mean to you, Tony?
All right. So I'll start with leadership. And when I think of leader, right, I think about what a leader isn't. Everybody that's a manager or everybody that's in charge, they're not a leader, right? And for me, what a leader does is motivate you to want to do things for the organization, right? Not necessarily, do it by fear, right? If you've been in the military, a lot of people outside of the military, they think everything is done by fear. It's not. It's not done by fear. As a matter of fact, if you have a leader that you're afraid of, not only are you not going to want to perform for that leader, but you're not going to want to talk to that leader, right?
Right.
And as far as being motivated, man, is loving what you do. And if you don't love what you do, don't do it. And that's where I'm at. If you don't love what you don't do, then don't do it. Start looking for another job. And it doesn't necessarily, pertain to work, but that's life. If you're not feeling your friends, go get some new friends.
No, that's a good one right there. Especially in the times that we're in now, the motivation to say, you know what, my job is not fulfilling. It's not motivating me. I get up and I don't want to go do that. Well, find something else that you love doing. And again, your passion is going to drive you to what you're destined to do. But you have some leaders, and like you said, not all people in management are leaders. And again, the leadership is not managing. Because you manage processes, you lead
Right.
people.
Right.
So we say, oh, I'm a good manager. Okay, you're a good manager because you manage processes, you manage certain things and of what somebody does, but the actual leading of a person, leading of a group, that takes a unique set of skills.
You get the job done for the boss.
Yeah.
When it should be the other way around. You get the job done for the people. I made a statement, I think it was yesterday. I made it yesterday, and I always make this statement, right? Because us being in safety, I'm pretty sure a lot of your listeners hear it because most of the listeners are in safety. You hear, hey, if I feel like if I am going to, report this injury, or I'm going to, blow the whistle on anything, I feel like I'm going to get fired. And I feel like me as a leader, because I will call myself as a leader, as me as a leader, and a leader that's trying to raise up other leaders, first thing that comes out of my mouth is, you know what? I'm very well connected. I got a really good network. I know my man Pedro. He's going to hook us up. If you get fired for reporting this injury, or you get fired for reporting, whatever it is, guess what? We're both going to be looking for jobs come Monday morning. I can hook you up with a resume. And that's what I feel. And my wife knows that if I come home and I say, hey, today was the day, she know that I went out for the cause, and that's for the people. And to me, that's what a leader is about.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Redbeard said, "Common goals and values are necessary. Relationships will fail without those things." And it's true. The common goals and values. And me and him had a good discussion Tuesday. Of the principles behind, what a person does. And we talked about actual target zero and how it's such a shit goal. To for target zero, and people don't wake up and say, "Hey, I'm going to get hurt today," and we base it around this number. And me and him went on a good conversation about principles and sticking to those values and those common goals, for the greater good. Because again, we're in this for the betterment of people, the betterment of life, pro life. We don't want nobody getting hurt, but you know, if somebody does get hurt, it's not bash, 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 fired, you're done. It's,
Right.
hey, what were you thinking about when something happened? How can I help you get through this? And let's learn together.
Right. Right. And I heard that conversation. Nate, I am not as articulate as Nate. Nate, you are a very smart person.
There
I
you go,
love
Nate.
watching Nate, man. He's an intellectual. When I said that the other day, I was trolling, but I meant it, dude. Nate is a smart dude. He is very intelligent.
Oh
All
yeah,
right, I'm
yeah,
done man crushing on Nate.
yeah. No, not a problem. And he was, he was in the chat yesterday. He has a master's degree and very articulate. When we had our conversation again, it was great. But again, it's breaking down into whether you're articulate and book smart, street smart, construction smart, general industry smart, whatever it is. It's a common goal to save people. It's a common goal to lead people. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Look at that. Aw.
I'm blushing.
So and you said you're now motivationally speaking, and what kind of venues or what kind of places are you going? Is it work sites? Is it to the youth or younger generations? Tell us a little bit about that.
so I'm pretty much a motivational speaker nightmare, right? And my coach, Jeremy Anderson, I don't know if you've heard of him. He's with Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that they tell us to do is to niche down. But dude, I am all over the place. At first, it started off with, hey, you're the safety director, get up there and do a presentation, and I'm like sweating bullets, right? And then and then they're like, oh, dude, that was pretty good. And then it went from going to juvenile detention centers and different corporate events, and just basically just I don't know, just calling them out. So I'm pretty much all over the place. And what I do is bring something to an organization that the people that are sitting in the organization, they're not going to do. Right. And that's being candid with leadership. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I do is I'll take a form I'll send them, kind of like a Quizlet or whatever, and just say, hey, have your people answer these questions. And then I go in front of the organization and I say, hey, 60% of your people in the organization feel like that management is unapproachable. And then the faces, right? The faces that you get, you're like, and then, afterwards they're like, tell us. And I'm like, absolutely not. Right. I'm telling you that your organization has a problem, or which what I like the most is I'm telling you that your organization is awesome and you just got to make this tweak or this tweak. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So how is it kind of going into a juvenile detention center? How does that, work out? What is the message to motivate the youth uh in those instances?
Okay. Juvenile detention centers. Right. And I actually got a presentation in 2 weeks at a juvenile detention center in Kentucky. And for that message is it comes from the heart. Like for me, if I have never been arrested, right? If I've never been arrested, never been expelled from school, never been a kid, trying to be cool and do drugs, right? Smoke weed, I really wouldn't have a message for them, right?
Right.
But my message for them when I go in those places is, hey, this is what I did. This is what I did. And this is the heartache that I caused my family, my mother to be specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
A shame, right?
Right.
There's certain times, man, I can see it right now looking at my mom and just seeing the shame of her face coming to get, me and one of my best friends like out of a cage, right? As a
Mm.
juvenile, picking us up out of a cage. And another time picking me up with my aunties, and just seeing that look on my mom's face, right? And those individuals that's behind those walls that hear that message, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I'm talking about to look at their parent on the other side of the glass. Luckily for me, it wasn't looking on the other side of the glass because I didn't go to prison. One day I woke up and I said, you know what? I'm 17 years old. I got a baby on the way. This smoking, this drinking, skipping school every day, it has to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the change. I joined the Marine Corps, changed my life. And I owe my life to join in the military. But the sad part about a lot of these kids, they don't have that opportunity to join the military because it's not like back in the day, like when my uncles joined, hey, you either go to prison or you
Yeah.
go to the military. It's not like that no more.
Right.
So what they have to do is take those same skills that they have on the streets, right? The hustling skills, because that's the stuff that most motivational speakers ain't going to tell you, right? Some of the smartest people that I know are dope dealers, right? But what they need to do, right? And I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
math whizzes.
Yeah.
One of the smartest people that I know is an ex-drug dealer, right? He got out of the game, and what he's doing now is he has multiple businesses. And that's the message that I'm trying to tell these kids is the street smarts that you have, the book smarts that you have, use that to good. Otherwise, you're going to spend the rest of your life behind bars or you're going to be dead, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to be dead.
Yeah, no, and that's a great message. I have daughters, and I know you do too, Tony. And one of the biggest things is trying to teach them, both the street smarts and what not to do to get in trouble and be out there,
Right.
but also teach them that hey, you got to use your brain a little bit when you're out there on the street when you're out there with your friends, when you're doing, not saying that they're going to do anything bad, but again, teenagers will be teenagers. They're going to go try. They're going to want to go experiment. But it's about, teaching them those street smarts and showing them right from wrong. And, like, um, Nate says, those values, those principles that we have as parents to make sure that our children are motivated to be great leaders. And it
Yep.
ties into what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It definitely does. So, again, and like you said, I know a couple of people that, that were in the game and are not in the game no more. But again, like you said, the mathematics that goes behind it, some of the, the street smarts that they have, they, stopped what they were doing on the bad side, and now they're using it for good, and they're, actually helping and teaching the youth and teaching people. So, I commend you on that end, and trying to inspire and motivate the youth. It's definitely much needed.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you saying that, and that's what it's all about. And I don't pretend to know everything. I mean, even with my own kids, man, I learn. I
Mm-hmm.
learn all the time. I could say something to one of my daughters, and and the other one would say, "Hey, that was wrong, Dad." You know what I mean? Like we're always learning,
Yeah.
learning
Oh,
from each other.
oh yeah, definitely. And then having teenagers at that. My oldest is 15. She's getting ready to drive.
Good luck.
She has a cell phone, and um, it's the things, the little things that, and the little wins that I know we are doing great as parents. But then it's, some of the things where, I can admit, hey, I was wrong in some of the stuff I told you or that I said. And, my other daughters, like you said, they come and correct me. They're like, Dad, no, no, don't do that. That's not the way it goes. It's not how it's done. Stay off of
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah.
Hey man,
So that,
you're right, man. Hey, I tried the TikTok, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
yeah, no, I've done a couple. For those that know, follow me. I've done a couple TikToks. Then I started putting out the podcast out there, and I just use it to, and my wife's, probably listening. My daughters are probably listening, but I use it to just watch them, make sure everything's going okay over there.
Hey,
LinkedIn user, please let us know who you are. Hey, when something, this happens, and they just said, "Yay, Tony." It usually comes up LinkedIn user. Sometimes it gives me the
yeah.
name, sometimes it doesn't. Because I know a couple chats you came on there, and it just said LinkedIn user. It didn't say Tony Taylor. So now going back to our topic, motivational leadership. Um, Being a leader, what is the biggest thing that you look for, um, as you're trying to lead? Your direct reports, or your, um, the people that you're around.
The biggest thing that I look for as a leader, that's a good question. What's in my face, right? So like just kind of like what we're talking about, I don't necessarily look at the task or look at the things that they're not good at. The things that I look at as a leader are the things that they're good at. And that brings me back to, I've had this conversation with a few leaders to where they'll be like, hey, Joe isn't really good at this. He sucks at this. Maybe I'm thinking about letting him go. And what I'll say is, hey, let me get Joe.
Yeah.
And it's happened before. I'll take Joe. I'll take Jack. I'll take Jill. And what I do is I talk to him and I say, hey, sounds like you're sucking. You're sucking right now. Right. And just be candid. And to me, it's all about being authentic. Right. That's a leader.
Yeah.
I'll be candid with them and I'll say, okay, it sounds like you're sucking, but that doesn't mean that you suck. That means that you're sucking at this job. And I'll tell them, hey, I've been in situations before where I was underperforming. That job just wasn't for me. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I got fired the first week. I sucked, right? The first week I sucked. But then I'll start telling them, what are you good at? We'll find their strengths,
Mm-hmm.
and what we'll find their strengths. And what we'll do is we'll put them in another seat in the bus. And that's one thing. When I work for the Japanese, that's one thing that they have. If as a leader, right, and most Japanese organizations, as a leader, if your employee quits or you fire your employee, that's shame on you, not on the employee, but shame on you. And the term that they have is finding them another seat on the bus. he or she might not be a good driver of the bus. Maybe, they could be the person like an attendant, or they can be the person that's the monitor. They could be, in the back seats, but you just got to find them another seat on the bus. But there are certain individuals that you just like, hey, the next stop is a couple blocks and we're just going to drop you off. But
Yeah, no, definitely. We got my man Philip Rizzo from the Riz, nothing but love, great stuff, guys. Those we do not educate, we typically incarcerate in this country, and that's deep right there. And my man Phil, he has a security business, and again, I rap with Phil live, and it's true. You got to educate, especially our youth right now in what we're doing. They're going to be the future leaders of America, believe it or not. They're the
yeah,
ones that are going to be our senators, our congressmen, our presidents, our vice presidents, speakers of the House. All of these people are our lawyers, our judges. So we have to educate them to be great leaders. So when they step into those roles, they can lead and understand what the cause is and what they're leading for.
I agree, man. There's so many. If you walk through the workplace, I mean, one of the things that you hear, oh man, those damn. Can we curse on here?
Yeah, we can curse.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. That's good. Because I know
Yeah.
we're on LinkedIn and stuff.
Yeah, we're
LinkedIn
on
frowns upon
LinkedIn,
that.
but again, we
Stop rubbing it in, Pedro.
You
No,
brought it up, brother. You brought it
I
up. But again,
know.
we're on LinkedIn. But again, this show, the X Factor Safety, we speak the truth. If it gets a little, out of hand, obviously we're gonna tailor it back. But again, a couple of f-bombs here and there, a couple shits, then yeah,
That's good.
that'll work.
I'm with that shit. Hopefully, my mom. I think my mom is listening, but
Uh oh.
yeah. So um, what was I at? Oh, yeah. So yeah. So what you'll hear a lot of times in these organizations, and man, it fucking drives me crazy when I hear it. Oh yeah, these fucking millennials, or now it's the Gen Zs, and I'm like, dude, do you not understand what's going on? Like they are running this country right now, and I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about like, look at like your senators, like the junior senators, these mayors, dude, they're young.
Mm-hmm.
They're young as hell, and they're killing it. They're willing to say the stuff that we're not willing to say. They're the ones that are leading the protest. They're the driving force right now. They're saying all the shit that we have been afraid to say before, right? And we thought that we were saying all the stuff that like the baby boomers were scared to say. No, they're killing the game right now. So I just feel like we have to give them their respect, because respect is due. They are killing the game right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. My man Nate, he said, when you build a strong relationship with an employee or a child, the only fear they will have is the fear of disappointing you. Like Tony said, disappointment from a loving parent hits harder than any belt ever could.
Ooh.
I completely agree, but I'm from the old school. I can say it. I got my ass whipped. Some of those ass whippings definitely taught me the lesson. But again, like you said, you build that bond and that relationship. And I have girls, and I try to again kill them with kindness and tell them that hey, you are really missing up right now, and that word disappointment. I'm disappointed in the actions that you've taken and the decisions that you made, and then I leave it at that. And they're daddy's girls, obviously, and they're like, "Damn, Dad's pissed off at us, man."
Uh-huh.
So then they come and they're like, "I'm sorry," and we talk about it, and it goes a long way. Um, LinkedIn user Brandy Hunter.
What's up, Brandy? I know Brandy.
There you go. Got somebody from YouTube that said yes to what you were saying, Tony.
Oh, that's my mother.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Mama's
I
watching.
think. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LinkedIn users, folks need to support the upcoming generations, and of course, it is because again, those that have kids that are young, those that are planning on having kids, again, those generations will be better off if we teach them at a young age how to be motivational. What is motivation? How are we motivating them? Especially the online learning, the different what they call the new norm. I hate talking about COVID because it's a pain in the ass
Yeah.
already. But the normality or normalcy that we're trying to instill in them and still have that normal life. How are we motivating them to keep going and keep pushing and keep fighting? How are we making sure that they're leading by example?
Right. I think it's one day at a time, brother. It is one day at a time. I mean, there's no normalcy right now. You like at my job, you got people leaving, right? They're leaving, and it's just they're like, "Hey, I gotta go," and it's just like, "Nope, go. I don't want to hear it," because I mean, there's nothing that's normal right now
Hmm.
with the kids. Right now we just instituted the whole screen time thing because they're on their computers and stuff 24/7, and me personally, I don't have a problem, with them looking at it, but sometimes it could be a burnout. But and the separation with other people.
Yeah.
We when I was in school, we made fun of the kids that were homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
But because they didn't have that interaction, and now it's just like we gotta figure it out. This is happening for a reason. All of these companies, they have to have a model, like just like me and you were talking right here.
Hmm.
Um, I've been conducting interviews like this for years, like
Yeah.
interviews
Virtually.
with
Yeah.
yeah, just and hired people before like this, but it's just we just got to change the game because no matter what, the game is changing, right? And some of us, the game has changed or is changing us. So I think we just roll with the punches.
Yeah. Learning how to pivot, how to, again, COVID, if it has not taught you anything, let it be that you can pivot and transition into something, that's gonna one make you a better person, that's gonna drive more, people and traffic to whatever you're doing, that's gonna, make your followership, your listenership go up because of the way you start to do things. And again,
Yeah.
that's that motivation. So speaking of motivation, what motivates you, Tony? You were talking we're trying to, get the game to everybody else, but let's dive into what motivates Tony.
Huh. When I think about what motivates me, I think about the word purpose, right? I think about purpose and what inspires me. And I'm not doing a plug.
You can. It's okay. It's okay.
No, but what inspires me is people, right? What inspires me is people. I used to always get in trouble for talking in class, right? I would never shut up. The teachers, I mean, even when I went to Catholic school, the teachers would say, "Hey, Anthony, just shut the hell up." And we're talking about nuns, man. But just talking to people and making people happy, which is
Hmm.
a gift and a curse at the same time. Gift and a curse. I can't say that. I'm from
Gift and a
Indiana,
curse.
man. Gift and a curse. Yeah. But it's a gift and a curse at the same time. But what motivates me is, bringing the best out of people, seeing people live and walk in their purpose. That's what motivates me.
Nice, nice. And to give, a little bit of me is, obviously my wife and kids, they are my biggest motivation factor. And then after that, it's the betterment of people,
I love it.
bringing people and making people successful around me, making sure that people understand that it's not about me. My success doesn't come until you're successful, right? Until I make a positive impact and change in your life, then I can say, hey, you know what? That felt good, you know. But
Yeah.
then it doesn't stop there. It's on to the next person and the next person and the next group of people and the next, construction site and it's great. That's my motivation. Brandy
Yeah.
said, not sure if it's me, but I can't see or hear the podcast. Brandy, if you're on LinkedIn, it happens sometimes. So what you do is get off of the live feed, come back on the live feed, and you should be able to see it. Um, if not, you can always go to Facebook. You can go to YouTube, Periscope, or Twitch. That's where we're streaming all over these platforms.
So
Um,
LinkedIn is glitchy, huh?
sometimes it is. Yeah, depends. And again, whoever's doing other live streams and whatnot, sometimes it'll catch. You'll catch a couple glitches and then it'll you go out, come back in, and then you go right back into the to where they left off at. So
No,
you can
man.
put that up
Yeah,
there.
dude. I like that. subscribe, like, share. Yeah, man. No, that's one thing, honestly, Pedro, man. That's one thing that I noticed about you is you do it for other people, man. I think when I first started watching your videos, I was like, man, something about that guy. Something about that guy. Nah, straight up, man. You motivate. I think you motivate everybody, man. It's awesome to see you thrive the way that you're thriving, man. It is amazing to see.
Appreciate that. Little pat on the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No.
and it comes and it stems from, again, a lot of us, now at this day and age and in our lives and in our careers, we've had mentors that, have come into our lives, have showed us the way. They have moved on and we have grown. So, it's only right that we pay it forward, and the way I pay it forward is, doing this type of stuff. Tony Taylor inspires. He's a motivational speaker. Having him on the show is a great value and asset. We're talking about motivation and leadership, and that's why I like to tailor it to certain things, that we are doing in our different industries. But you can take it for face value, or you can dive in a little deeper and get the value out of it and add it to your repertoire of what you have. So, and it's not for
Right.
me. This show is not for me. This is for you guys out there viewing, looking, listening. This is for you. Um, so motivation, it definitely goes a long way when you can be motivated at work. So we're gonna play a little game of devil's advocate.
Okay.
Hey, you're the boss, I'm the worker. Hey Tony,
You're fired, Pedro. All right, let's
so
go.
I'm really not feeling it today, and I see my numbers, they're constantly going down. I'm not liking the position I'm in.
Hmm.
Motivate me.
You're not liking it. How long you been here, Pedro?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Is this job not what you thought it was going to be?
I mean it is, but it's just it's very repetitious.
Very
It's
repetitious.
yeah.
Hmm. What'd you go to school for, Pedro?
I went to school, high school. I don't have a college degree, and they gave me this job because I was pretty good with my hands, but it's
Pretty
just
good with your hands.
repetitious. Yeah.
So you need to be doing something where you're thinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like to think.
Okay. So so I tell you what, I'm going to figure out a way for you to use your hands, right? Use your hands and be able to use your intellect. But what I want you to do, you've only been here for 6 months, right? What I want
Hmm.
you to do is I want you to show me that you got what it takes to do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. And what I'll do is I'll start giving you more responsibilities. We'll do it at increments. And I guarantee you that in the next few months, man, you're gonna love exactly what you do. But I want to take it baby steps. I want to take you under my wing. And my door is open to you. Anything that I can do, come and let me know. As a matter of fact, starting tomorrow, at the end of the day or before your work shift, I want you to come and talk to me, and I want us to wrap a little bit, and I want you to tell me, what you're seeing out there, what you're learning, and I want you to start. If you see some changes, come to me, and we're gonna make them happen. If
Yeah,
you see
Tony.
some changes that need to be made,
Yeah.
let me know, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. No, I greatly appreciate that. I've been here 6 months and nobody's really come up to me and they just tell me what to do and that's it. That I greatly appreciate that. That really resonates with me. Knowing that I have somebody I can turn to. Um, and again,
All right.
that's how it goes. It's motivation like that. In the workplace, it's that simple. Somebody comes and tells
Yeah.
you, "Hey, I'm not um, feeling the job," or I don't think I'm doing as well as I think I can, or where I should be. Motivate them and ask the questions. And you ask great questions. I mean, that was perfect.
I just
Good
Yeah, I'm good at
motivation.
role play. No, no, but no, because I think we've all been in that situation. We've all been in a situation where you're just like, man, dude, this sucks, and you're like, man, if I had that job, or not only not necessarily just like that job, but in this job, I can change this, I can change this, and this job will be awesome, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do, with the people that I work for, right? Notice I said I work for because they don't work for me, but the people that I work for, that's the mindset that I
Mm-hmm.
have is not, get back to work, right? Not get back to work, but hey, man, maybe, if you're feeling like this, that means that right, as far as me being authentic or trying to
Mm-hmm.
be my most authentic self, what can I do to help you? Not what you can do to help me get a bonus. It should
Right.
be what I can do to help you.
Right. No, definitely. And that, me and Nate, and, bringing up Nate, and our conversation was great. Mine and your conversation is great. And we brought that up. A lot of times your management or your mid-level management are worried about their bonuses. So, we were talking about target zero, but still to motivate
Mm-hmm.
somebody and say, hey, what can I do for you? Not what's in it for me.
Right,
Yeah, I want you to hit your numbers, but if you're not hitting your numbers, let's figure out what can we do together, and how can I get you motivated, so that way you start bringing your numbers up. You see the
right,
productivity and the growth, and at the end of the day, if you're growing, guess what? I'm growing, because we're
right. And you
growing
might just be
together.
shooting at the wrong target with looking at those numbers, right?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. It's true, and again, it boils down to being able to motivate people, being a people person. Some people aren't people. And it's crazy how the tongue twister that was. But, some
Right.
people just are not people friendly. They're not people persons.
And I'm
It
glad
is
you
what it
said
is.
that. I'm glad you said that. And those are the people you ever have those people in an organization that say, "Oh, that's just Bob. Bob is an asshole. Sometimes he could be cranky. That's just his weird, quirky personality." But Bob is the manager. Bob, if you're not, it's okay to not be a people person, but if you're an asshole, there's no reason why you should have the title of manager. There's no reason, because you're interacting with people. You have, it's the whole that goes with the whole hey, it's not personal, it's business. No, it's personal, because personal is business, right? Because you're
Yes.
dealing with people's livelihoods. And if I go to work and I go and talk to my boss and he's shitty towards me, dude, that's gonna blow up my whole freaking day. It
Yep.
shouldn't, right? It shouldn't, but it is personal, and you should have those people in those positions that are willing and able to give instead of take, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, man. I think I'm
No,
talking too much.
no, not at all. That's what it's about. We talk here on the X Factor of Safety, and we like it. So, and you made a good point right there with, giving and taking. You have to be able to give those deposits, of emotion, and showing somebody, making those emotional deposits that you do care for them to, for you to get a return. But you're not getting a return right then and there. The return will come. You just got to keep making those deposits, keep making that motivation, and that leadership stick, so that way they know when they do have a problem, or when something comes about, they can come and knock on your door. Hey, Tony, I'm really not feeling this job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
And
hey, there's somebody that, is out there that isn't performing the way he should or she should, and she might do better. And they'll bring you those suggestions. She might do better in X department, or, in A department. That type of stuff. So it goes a long way. You have to be able to make those deposits into your people for them to be successful.
right, right. And it's not gonna happen right away. It's not gonna happen right away. It's a marathon, because
Oh yeah.
especially, being in leadership, they're just like, yeah, okay, especially if you're the new guy, right? If you're like the new director, they're like,
Hmm.
yeah, what is he gonna change? Right. And you have to be very conscious in how you carry yourself. Me, I like to dress up, but there are certain days, man, I go in the office and I'll wear like a hoodie like this,
Yeah.
and just to let them see, hey, man, I'm real.
Yeah.
Or break time. I'll go to this. I hate smoking, but I'll go to the smoke pit, and they'll be like, oh, just like the other day, they're like putting on their mask because they think I'm about to yell at them about their mask because that comes with the title. I don't yell at anybody. Well,
Right.
I have, but uh, I'm more apt to give you a hug and say I love you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just meeting them where they're at, going to where they're at. If it's the
Right.
smoke pit, if it's like a barbecue that they're having, stopping through, hey, what's up, man, how you guys doing? And still being professional but being personal, and then going back to your business. And I think that's what make the difference. That's what get the trust in your people.
Yes. Yes. That right there, being able to gain that rapport and that trust from your workforce. Me being a smoker, it was cool because I got to see everybody in the smoke shack, and
Yeah.
but now I'm no longer a smoker after my heart attack. I quit smoking, and my wife says
Congratulations,
cigarettes.
brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
It's
that was just
definitely,
recently, wasn't it?
yeah, back in June.
Okay.
Um, yeah, back in June, had a heart attack, and it was a pretty massive one. I thought it was a minor one, but the doctor came in and was like, "Yeah, you had a massive heart attack."
Damn, brother.
Took
I didn't know. I didn't know that it was a heart attack. I know we have been talking, and I know that you had got sick. Damn.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, it
glad
was
you're
a
here, brother.
yeah, definitely. So am I. So are my kids,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
wife. But it definitely opened my eyes, and I had been smoking for many many years. In the military, I smoked and coming out, and then it, I was chalking it up to being a safety professional and saying I was in prior military and stressful environments. It relieves the stress, which it does, but again,
It
it's
does.
bad for the health, and
Yeah.
I quit. Now I chew a shitload of gum.
That's dope, man. That's good. That's good. And that's one thing, man. I smoked for a very brief time, and I was in Japan, and I picked up smoking because if you're in the military, you start noticing that. Well, it's not just in the military; it's at factories. No matter where you work at, the smokers get more breaks than anybody. And I'm just like, man, I'm in here working. I'm in here working my ass off. The smokers get 20 breaks a day. Let me go out there.
Yep.
Let me get
Yep.
one of them Newports, right? And then
Exactly.
next thing you know, you smoking before breakfast, smoking after dinner, right? But it was my daughter, man. I'll never forget this day, man. It was my daughter that came to me like in tears, man. My daughter came to me. This was years ago, probably like, I don't know, about 14 years ago. She came to me and she was like, Dad, I'm worried that you're gonna die. You need to stop smoking. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh shit. I was just about to go outside and smoke. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, cool. And I stopped immediately. I stopped. Dead in my
Yeah.
tracks, man. Stopped. And that's what did it. But man, I'm glad that you're candid with that story because in construction, a lot of our people, that's what they do. They smoke and they don't realize like what that'll do to you. Once you stop smoking, you're like, oh man, I can go up a flight of steps without without
Losing
losing
my
my
breath.
breath.
Yeah, losing my breath.
Yeah,
And I just recently, got a truck, and my wife was like, "Hey, and now your damn truck won't smell like cigarette smoke." And I'm like, I get in the car, and I'm like, it actually smells good in here. The sense of
that's dope.
smells, so sense of taste. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I've gained a little more weight because again, that hand to mouth. I'm trying to fix that, and working out and doing that. But
You
yeah,
still look
definitely.
good, brother. You
Thank you.
look handsome to
Appreciate it.
me, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I think this is Miss Hunter, Brandy Hunter. I love this support. She said, agreed. Building relationships with people involves seeing life from the other perspective and daily connecting with them. That is so true because you get a little, they get a little taste of you and know that you're real and you care, but then you dive into, what they're about, and then you can go out there in the morning and say, not hey you, or call them, actually by the name, hey Bill, hey Marsha,
Yeah.
how are you doing? How are the kids? You get a little personal with them, and they end up coming. LinkedIn user, yes. If you're a new LinkedIn user, I know we have Brandy Hunter in the chat. If you're new to the live stream, please tell me who you are because it just comes up LinkedIn user.
Man, it
Definitely want to know who you are.
look like your comments are blowing up, man.
Just a little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Speaking of, it was a big motivator for me. One, obviously, it was a big heart attack. Now I'm on medication. They put a stent in my heart, but again, it motivated me to quit smoking cold turkey. After, believe it or not, and to tell the story for those that don't know this story on what happened, me and the wife and kids went kayaking. Had a kayak trip from hell is what we call it, and we try not to talk about it, but kayak trip from hell. Uh, I made sure my daughter, my oldest, was helping me. My wife, was helping where she could and trying to get everybody to the takeout point. So we did that, and after that, we get everybody out of the water. I pull all the kayaks out. I unzip my life jacket, and it was just boom. I felt the chest
Ooh.
pain, felt the arm tingling. So I didn't think, I thought it was, some muscle spasms, because I was rowing, I was pushing, I was pulling. The river wasn't that high. And then, I was coming back out of town. They were going back to Houston. And shortly after that, getting to the hotel, had a bad heartburn, and I was just laying discomfort. I was like, damn. So the next morning, I go into work, and I just tell my superintendent, hey, I think I got to go to the hospital. I think I'm having a heart attack. So sure
Oh
enough, I
man.
go to the hospital, and sure enough, I was having a heart attack. They took out a big clot, and gave me all kinds of medication and IVs, but yeah. Now
Man.
I'm here. We're live. We're doing the thing. That we love to do, podcasting and this live streams for you guys. So again, uh, I love when organizations state work with me and not for me, Brandon,
Oh yeah.
and not interpersonal.
No, I
That
like
that
that too.
yeah.
I like that too, and I think it's important to strive to do that. There's some stuff like if, and I'm always honest. I hate work, right? I hate lifting boxes and stuff. I hate it. I'm gonna keep it real. I hate it, and the people that I work with, they know that. But right, and that's just me being authentic with them. If
Mm-hmm.
I see them working, I'm not just gonna walk past them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go and I help them. Just like today, I'm sweeping, and they're trying to take like brooms out of my hand and stuff, and I'm just like, no, let's get it done. And I'm like, kind of like, who's gonna take it? No, just but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, it's working with them, and not just to play a mind game, but like I just like talking to them and just like seeing what's up. If I'm sweeping or whatever, right? If I'm sweeping or whatever, I'm not doing it to sweep. I'm doing it to know more about them
Mm-hmm.
and know about what's going on in their life.
Mm-hmm. LinkedIn user demotivating, not interpersonal, demotivating. And to that point, if they see that you can go do the same task that they're doing, they're gonna get that respect from you and make sure that they can say, "Hey, Tony's a real stand-up guy because he can come push a broom just like anybody else." That's why I go out there and again, I started out um, as a worker before I got into safety. So I don't mind getting dirty. I don't mind getting, muddy and putting my gloves on and actually helping somebody because that way, one, I can see how they're doing certain things. And if they
You're a
might,
man's man.
yeah, exactly. And then what ends up happening is that respect and that openness comes to where, hey, I can come to Pedro. I need some help with this. Could you come help me? And then we become good leaders and motivators. Safety
Definitely.
Sam, glad you're still here, Pedro. We'll have to share heart attack stories offline. Definitely good stuff. Good to see you. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he was on your show yesterday, right?
yesterday, yeah, had a busy week. I had Nate Tuesday. I had Safety Sam. Excuse me, yesterday, and I got you today, Tony. So it's
Sam,
it's
hey, Sam, dope man. He from Indianapolis, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I have been meaning to reach out to him. I'm actually I'm actually from Gary, Indiana. I just moved from Fishers, Indiana, not too long ago. I've been meaning to send him a message and just say, let's get up. But I think he and I we exchanged messages probably a couple years ago. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he a good dude, real good dude.
Nice, nice. Uh, LinkedIn user, great blessing to still be around. Glad to hear your story. Agreed. Working with people, especially, that's what makes relationship. Greatly appreciate it. LinkedIn user. If that's you, Brandy, great. Let me know that you just sent the message. If it's not, let me know. Let us know who you are, so that way we can shout you out. We like doing that stuff around here. So if you guys have any questions for Tony, we're hitting, we're at 54 minutes. We kind of keep it about an hour. If you got any questions for Tony, please send them in, and I'll throw that banner up there one more time. Because again, we like questions around here. We like those types of things.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so what do you have in the works right now? What are you doing? And I know you just you told us that you were going to Kentucky and whatnot. But what else is coming down the pipeline? What new things is
I'm
Tony
zooming.
doing?
I'm zooming to Kentucky. Well, yeah, man. Just pretty much just doing my thing, man. I don't know if you heard, but here soon, I'm going to be starting a podcast myself and kind of just diving into some of the stuff that we were just talking about.
Nice.
Motivation, just some stuff to basically my goal in this podcast that I'm kicking off is for the workers, for the families, for the kids, just that thing that you wake up in the morning and whatever it is that you got to do, that you're motivated to do it, that you're excited to do it, and if you're
Mm-hmm.
not, that you figure out a way to change it. So that's in the works. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. It'll be my first podcast, so I'm kind of crawling slow. It's
Well,
going
it's
to be
not
on
your
the
first podcast. You were on mine. You've been on other people's
no.
podcasts.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's funny, dude. I've been on probably like 50 podcasts, but and I've always been scared to do one myself. It's that weekly commitment,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm commitment shy when it comes to that. But I was just kind of, and my wife even brought it up before, but I just been gun shy. But then I'm like, man, I'm doing a lot of podcasts. Might as well do one on my own. And yeah, man, it's going to be good, man. I think it's going to be good. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome, brother. I can't wait to hear what you have in store and what's going to come down. It definitely is going to be good. Again, Tony Taylor inspires. Is that the name of the podcast?
Yeah. Tony Taylor Inspires. I'm trying to keep everything the same, whether it's
Nice.
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not on Twitch yet, but
Nice.
yeah.
Nice, nice. LinkedIn user. Really appreciate your videos, Tony. I always laugh at the basic training videos. Brings back fond memories. Prior Army, so Army DIs, not quite as intense, but still experts at stress inducement. Aaron.
Hoorah. What's going on, Aaron? Hoorah.
Nice, nice. And Nate said, if you're afraid of it, that probably means it's the right thing to do.
I
Amen.
agree.
Amen. I was afraid to do this live video and streaming, stuff, but um, they gave me LinkedIn Live, and I was like, shit, now I have to do it daily. So, and not to throw that in your face. So Tony's like, damn,
No, no, no,
Pedro,
no,
why you got
no,
to
no.
bring that?
Pedro. Hey, when I say that, all the posts that I make, man, on LinkedIn about me
Yeah.
bitching about not having it, dude, I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
terrified to get LinkedIn Live, bro, because then I'll actually have to use it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like with the videos that I make, I try to be as real as possible. I try my best to reach and talk to the people because we have this illusion. Everybody has this illusion. Somebody made a comment one day. They were like, "Oh, like you are human, Tony," or something like that. Because I think I did a blooper reel, and I'm just like, "Dude, you have no idea,
Mm-hmm.
like how many times I screw up. No, how many? See, I just screw. You see me stutter, and you know what I mean. I screw up all the time on my videos. I'm human, just like everybody else. I
Yeah.
just, man, I just work my ass off, and that's to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's the message in everything. right? Work hard.
Yeah,
Even if you don't
definitely.
have talent, work your ass off. And that's part of me stepping into this podcast arena. It terrifies the hell out of me, right? And just like how Nate said, that's why I'm doing it, because I'm afraid of it. What the
Mm-hmm.
hell am I going to talk about for 30 minutes, for an hour, right? But I got a message, and I feel like, this thing that goes, it doesn't deserve to stay inside of here, right? I'm
Right,
not a
right.
selfish person. So yeah, hopefully I can bless as many people as I can. Definitely.
Nice, nice. No, and safe to say, I'm looking forward to checking out Tony's podcast. Yeah, again, we definitely are gonna check it out. Let me see. Reason number 4,512: why Target Zero sucks. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Greatly appreciate that. That was a good one. I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and again, that's why, and I tell all my guests that I have on the podcast, I don't edit anything. So whether we stutter, everything, it's authentic, it's real, and that's how the world is gonna get it. Now again, obviously, like these live streams, this is coming to you live. So you've heard Tony miss up a couple times. You hear me in short pauses and stuff. But again, that's us. That's what we do.
That's real.
We are not perfect. We are not robots. We are only human. And that human error sometimes comes into play. That fear of messing up or missing out comes into play. But guess what? You face those fears and you do it, and you keep doing it. No matter how many times you fail, or you fall, you get back up and you keep going and pushing forward. That right there motivates the hell out of me. The more times that
Yeah,
I fall and I fall forward, guess what? I'm picking up. I learned, but now I'm able to keep moving in the right direction. And I try to instill
definitely.
that in everybody.
Definitely. I want to share a quick story, which I know you're getting ready to cut it off. Um, but this, like, as far as like being fearful and doing what takes you out of your comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of people don't know this, but I have anxiety, right? I'm what you call a highly
What?
I have anxiety. Exactly, right? Fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
So part of the big thing with the anxiety is I've always been like, I never forget when I was in the Marine Corps. I went to sergeant's course, and they're like, you got to do a presentation, and I'm like, oh shit, what? And I'm like, whoa, like it was insane. And dude, I would start sweating. It was horrible, horrible. And I'm just like, you know what, man? From that day on, I just say, you know what? In order for me to progress in my career, because I feel like I have something to say, I need to get comfortable in front of talking in front of people. So
Yep.
from that day forward, anytime anybody they would say, hey, we need a volunteer, I'd be like, I got it. We need a volunteer. I got it. I got it. And when I went into the fire service, dude, within a second, they needed a volunteer to be a fire marshal. I raised my hand and do it, knowing that I was going to have to teach classes. And here I am doing safety orientation, fire orientations in front of groups of 500 people. Now, the largest crowd, 7,000. And I'm nervous every time before I do it. But again, it's stepping outside of that comfort zone and not thinking about myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what I think a lot of people, they have this fear of whatever it is, whether it's a fear of swimming, you're afraid that you're going to drown. But if you swim more, you get in the water more, and you realize that all I have to do is this one stroke. I start off with this backstroke. Oh man, I got it. I'm not drowning. And then you start
Mm-hmm.
doing other stuff. And I think that's what life is. Life is stepping outside of that comfort zone and fucking pushing the button. Keep pushing the button. And that's what I like to do. I push the button. I push the button. No matter what, I will not stop. And that's what I encourage everybody else to do, is to push the buttons. I tell my kids that all the time. They're like, hey, so and so is copying me. And I'm like, well, let them keep copying you. You keep pushing the button. You keep raising the bar. You keep raising the bar. They're going to get tired and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
fucking stop.
Yeah.
And that's when you keep going. That's
Yep.
when you keep going. Right. I'll see
Yeah.
people do the same videos that I do. I love it. And that's what I tell my kids. how does it go? Flattery and imitation, it goes
Yeah.
together, right? Flattery
Yeah.
is the best, imitation is the best form of flattery, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love seeing that. I love it. I love it when people reach out to me and they, hey, I have a fear of doing this. And then I'll push them, okay, do a video. Because that's what everybody's afraid of, doing videos. But they know, especially the business owners, they know that you have to do videos now in order to be successful. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll reach back out to them. Hey, it's been a month. It's been a month. I haven't seen a video from you. And then it'll pop up. And then I'm just like, yes, like they did it, right?
Yeah,
but that's what it's about. Yeah, it's about stepping outside of that comfort zone.
Nathan Bennett, raise the bar. Yes. Again, thank you for being in the chat, Nate. Nathan, Mr. Nathan. So, and you bring up a good point. And again, it's raising the bar. And again, you want to emulate what you want to be like. So people that are copying you, and I tell my daughters, people that are copying you, it could be a good thing. They're looking at you and want to be like you. So if you're setting a good example, if you're setting and being a leader, not a follower, then guess what? People are going to copy you. They're going to emulate that, and then it'll become positive, and it won't be, oh, she's following me or he's following me. No, it's, hey, let's grow together. So
Let's do it together.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So before we go, let everybody know where they can reach you at. How can they find you? Where do they find you at?
So I'm just gonna look at the bar and go across the deal that you got there. So it pretty much, man, you can go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. Just basically type in Tony Taylor Inspires. I made it easier, especially if you got a brain like me, make it easier for you. Man, just type in Tony Taylor Inspires, reach out, send a message. I respond to everybody that reach out to me. You want to get together, do a project. I don't say no to anyone. It gets me in trouble with my wife quite a bit. But yeah, definitely, man. I love talking to people. Any struggles that you have, I'm not a counselor, but man, if you need somebody to call you and wake you up in the morning to go for a jog, dude, hey, send me a text. I'll text you. I'll freaking make that call. We'll make it happen. We'll get together. I do one-on-one coaching. I do coaching for corporate entities. Whatever you need, just reach out to me. Definitely.
Nice. So y'all know where to reach me at. Again, everything, social media, the X Factor Safety, except for on Twitter, it's safety X_factor. Had to be different there, kind of like Sam Goodman. LinkedIn users, it's pushing away the pride and fear of failure. Great to hear that reminder, both of you. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh man, that's love.
So again, you know what's coming. What's your X Factor, Tony?
All right. This before I answer that, can I do a quick plug real quick?
Of course. Go ahead.
All right. So I got these cards, right? I got these cards from Charisse Fonts, and they got mailed to me. And what they are, they're job affirmations. And the reason why I want to share these with everybody is because I know a lot of people, they're struggling right now as far as finding jobs. My wife, and this is a story my wife told me yesterday, man, it made me sick to my stomach. She pulled up to the school, and they're giving away free lunches at the schools, and she was surprised because the parking lot was packed full of people to get those free lunches. And this is just something that I was thinking about, man. There's so many people out there hurting. There's so many people that's been laid off. They've been reaching out to me on social media, man. Like, as not even a nation, this world is hurting. And one of the things that I feel like that we need to do more for not each other, but more for ourselves, is to have positive affirmations. So Charisse Fonts reached out to me with these cards, and what they are, they're called job affirmations. And I'll read a couple. The first one says, "I enjoy my work. I am what I'm good at. My new job is my ultimate dream job. I am grateful and stoked for my new career." So this is basically, there's a bunch of cards. They're really colorful. And the point of them is So, put them in your pocket. I wouldn't suggest, you have them at your desk, at your job that you're trying to get out of. But, just to basically, look at them, say them to yourself. Those positive affirmations will make you, I mean, they do something for you, right? They do something
Right.
for you. They add value to your life because you're saying it to yourself. And as far as my X factor is reaching out to people, being there for people, and just being that ear, knowing when to shut up and just listening. That's definitely what I would say my X factor.
Nice, nice. Well, we want to thank you again, Tony, for taking the time out for being on this live stream. This very very good live stream, giving us a little piece of you and giving the the listeners and the viewers um, an insight on what motivates you, what leadership is, and again, it was a motivational power hour. That's what we try to do around here. So thank you, my man. I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it too. And to all the listeners, thank you for all the comments. That's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely love the engagement. And I just sent them out a thank you that we thank you for being with us. I hope you got some value out of this. And then I sent a thank you earlier. So
Oh, that's dope.
again, appreciate it, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So again, we thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate you. So with that being said, remember, think about that one thing. What is your X factor? So until next time, we will see you later.